So the next activity is the spindle box. And the material for the spindle box is a wooden box with 10 compartments with the numerals 0 to 9 written at the back upside of this compartment, and of course 45 spindles. You will now understand why it is important to follow the sequence in which this exercise is presented to the child. The child has experienced the first exercise where they work with the fixed quantities. The second one, the child is introduced to the symbols 1 to 10, and then the third activity, the child is able to associate the symbols with the fixed quantities. And this is the first activity. The spindle box is the first activity that introduced the child to the concept of numbers in loose quantities. The aim of this exercise is to associate loose quantities, that is the spindles, with fixed symbols. Remember the activity before now, they were able to associate the symbols with the fixed quantities. In the previous activity, there were numeral cards that the child can actually manipulate. But for this spindle box, the numerals are fixed. They are just written inside each of the compartments, 0 to 10. They're working with loose quantities and fixed symbols. That's the interesting thing about the Montessori curriculum. It tends to help the brain organize all this learning, create these folders that helps with concept formation and helps to ground the child in learning math in a fun way and also be able to understand it appropriately. Another aim for this particular activity, the spindle box, is that it gives the child the understanding to understand the concept of zero, because there's a particular compartment in that box where it is written 0. Remember, the child already knows the numbers now, knows how to count using the fixed quantities, and can recognize the symbols, knows the sequence. The moment they start to count into the boxes, they would realize that a particular compartment that is empty and there's nothing in there. And that's how you introduce the concept of 0 to the child and say, oh, can you see there's nothing in this compartment? And when there's nothing there, it is 0. 0 means nothing. Math can be very interesting with the Montessori method of learning math and arithmetics. All right, let's get into the classroom now, and you can see how you need to present this activity to the young child. So today we're working with this material, the spindle box, called the spindle box. We've been able to work with our numbers. You work with a large number rods. You work with your sandpaper numerals, so you can actually identify your numbers, isn't it? So today what we're going to do is we're going to count the spindles into the boxes. We're going to count the spindles into individual boxes. We'll identify the number and then count the spindle into the boxes. Is that okay? So we're going to count the spindle into the box. This is the spindle. It's called a spindle. Can you hold it? Okay. All right. So what number is this? 1. 1. So I will count 1 spindle into the box. What number comes after 1? 2. So can you show me 2? That's 2. So I'm going to count 2 spindles into the box. Let's put it here. 1, 2. What number comes after 2? 3. Can you show me 3? That's 3. So how many spindles will we count? 3. 1, 2, 3. What number comes after 3? 4. Can you show me 4? 4. So we count 4 spindles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can see you want to. Okay, so go on. Right, okay, go on to the next numbers to 9. first one. Eight, 9. All right, well done. So you've been able to count your spindles into the boxes 1 to 9. Is there something you can notice here that is different? Yeah, so that box is empty. It's empty because this is 0, and 0 means nothing. So that's why we do not have any spindle inside of it. Okay? So well done, you've been able to count our spindles into the boxes. This activity you can work with again and again to count your numbers, your spindle into the boxes. But once you're done, you ensure you pack them up and return back to the shelf.